I think everything that's happening right now is just really bullish for Bitcoin. I can't overestimate that. I mean, I can't overemphasize. This is really important, and it's underappreciated, and it's an open green field for anybody that wants to aggressively pursue it.
When should you sell your Bitcoin? Michael Saylor is a well-seasoned investor. Many of you know him as a billionaire CEO of data analytics firm MicroStrategy, or the man leading the Bitcoin institutional charge. However, Saylor was also a very early investor in Facebook, Twitter, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Saylor is an extremely intelligent and savvy investor, and he is not given enough credit for it. In this video, Saylor gives his latest update on what is going on with Bitcoin after the last month in which we've seen correction after correction. He also answers the question, when should you sell your Bitcoin? Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where I'll go over some of the most recent on-chain Bitcoin data. Also, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind.
If you think about it, you've got pronouncements, the president of Turkey says stuff about Bitcoin. People are asking the premier of Russia whether they'll accept Bitcoin. People want to know from central bankers what they think about Bitcoin. When's the last time somebody asked a government their opinion of Apple stock, right, or whether you should invest in the Vanguard 500 index, or whether you should invest in gold or silver or any other stock or options trading, or whether you should put your money in a money market? Nobody cares about any of those things. The only thing they care about is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is sucking the oxygen out of the room. And good news is good news, and bad news is good news. And as long as you keep talking about it, it's a good thing. So now you have the entire government, in essence, saying, it's just so good, we're a little bit afraid of it. And then you have people like the Ray Dalio saying, yeah, well, what's your problem with it? Well, it's just so perfect that I'm sure that somebody will want to stop it or ban it because it's too perfect. Yeah. I mean, really, that's the problem, that it's just too good that people are afraid of it? I think it's good advertising.
Do you tell your marketing team at MicroStrategy that no press is dead press?
No press? I've tweeted it.
Okay.
I think P.T. Barnum said it once. He said all publicity is good publicity. But certainly I think for Bitcoin, I really do believe that the more people talk about it, the better it is. You can't buy this kind of publicity, right? Name one awesome other's investable asset that is getting this news cycle. No. Right now, it's dominating the mainstream media. It's dominating television. It's dominating everybody's concerns. Is there a politician in the world that isn't aware of it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So here's the thing. Like when I was young, I used to hate the short sellers. Oh, they're shorting my stock. But the truth is, someone that shorts your stock has to buy it back in the future. So if someone talks about Bitcoin and they say they like it, then that's good. But if they talk about Bitcoin and they have an issue, then there's only two things you can do, right? You can either buy it or you can not buy it. And so if 100 billion times people mention it and half the time they agree with the person that said whatever they said, okay, well, then they didn't buy it. But that's the status quo. The other half of the time, the status quo is changing. So I think that this is really just elevating the brand.
Is there a scenario that you can imagine, even with a 0.1% chance of happening, where you would actually start selling Bitcoin in the next year or 2 years?
No, look, Bitcoin is the most stable, highest form, highest value property in the world right now, right? So trading Bitcoin for something else is trading from the apex property, the best property, to an inferior property. So I can imagine scenarios where I borrowed against billions of dollars of Bitcoin to buy some other property that I wanted. There are other good properties, right? Mm-hmm. There are other things, right? I won't dispute that owning the stock of a great company is not a good thing. I would just say that there's no better thing than owning pure digital energy on the dominant crypto asset network. So I wouldn't sell it because that implies you're trading something for something better while there is nothing better. So I wouldn't do that. We spent a lot of time getting educated on the issue before we bought our first Bitcoin, right? That was an in-depth process of education. We consulted with experts. We studied, we read the books, we considered the accounting implications, we considered the legal implications, we considered the business implications, we considered the securities implications. And then, every week since then, we have considered every development in the market and how we feel about it. So I think the board takes this very seriously. But, clearly it's not like you would buy billions of dollars of this and then ask the question to the board, what do you think, right? Right. This is a strategy of the company. It's disclosed in our 10K. We have two principal strategies. One strategy is to acquire and hold Bitcoin, right? So in a publicly traded company, you would have consensus on the board before you did something like that. And that only comes with extensive due diligence. I was an early shareholder of Facebook. I was an early shareholder of Twitter. I was an early shareholder of Google. If you had dumped the shares of Google, Facebook, and Twitter in 2010 because you heard that China was going to ban it, you would have lost
a lot of money. Yeah.
Obscene amounts of money. Trillions of dollars have been made on technologies banned by China. So I think that what China does is largely irrelevant here. And of course, it's kind of getting to be laughable because like every quarter for the past 5, 6, 7 years, there's been a China banning thing. So I don't really think that's that relevant. I think with regard to Bitcoin, if you wouldn't hold it for a decade, you shouldn't hold it for 10 minutes. So I think these things aren't good for speculators. I don't think you should be a speculator if you're a normal person. If you're a trader, maybe traders love it or hate it. I don't know, but you shouldn't be a trader. You're either an investor or you're a saver. If you're a saver, you're swapping a weak currency or a weak property for a strong property and a strong currency. And that's one way to view Bitcoin macroeconomically, moving toward the strong apex property. And if you're a technologist, you're buying the dominant digital monetary network with this view that one day, 8 billion people will be swapping energy via mobile phones with 100 million companies at the speed of light, subject to Moore's law, with computer programs thinking very fast. So you would buy it because you believe in digital property, digital energy, digital money, right? And you believe in the philosophy of an anti-inflationary asset. And if that's the reason you're doing it, then it doesn't really matter what happens day by day, week by week, month by month. Ask me again in like 4 years, and I'll give you an interim check.
So there's Michael Saylor with his latest on Bitcoin. He can't foresee anything that would make him sell his Bitcoin, and with his investing resume, I think he is correct. Let me know what you think of Saylor's response in the comments. Now for some recent on-chain Bitcoin data, but before that, today's video is brought to you by the channel sponsor BlockFi, the leading provider of financial products and services for crypto investors. At BlockFi, you can put your crypto to work, earning up to 5% interest on Bitcoin and Ethereum and 10% APY on stablecoins. If you are a crypto holder like me, you may as well be putting your holdings to work and earning passive interest on your stack. BlockFi is backed by some of the biggest names in the industry, such as the Winklevoss twins and Coinbase Ventures. BlockFi has also recently released their BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 3.5% back in Bitcoin for all purchases in the first 30 days and then 1.5% thereafter. They also recently ditched their annual fee, and there are no fees to use the card. To start putting your cryptocurrency to work and earning interest, and also earn up to a $250 crypto bonus with a deposit of $100 or more, go ahead and check out the referral link in the description right down below. Now, back to the on-chain Bitcoin data. Out from on-chain analyst Will Clement, we have the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio. This data is useful as it gives a metric as to what sort of capital is sitting on the sidelines waiting to get back into crypto positions. Pay attention to the dips in the supply ratio highlighted in green and how the Bitcoin price corresponded with it above. As you can see, after every significant dip, we saw months of nice progress in price action. A bullish sign in my opinion. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next video, and as always, have a great day.